Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay.
Think when's that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
If they fight, I think Shakur win. I think Shakur wins.
This reason, Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall.
Boxing courtroom where legends, champions, analysts, and loud opinions all take the stand, swear on their careers, and still can't agree on a verdict. Because this fight is the kind that exposes bias, belief, fear, and faith all at once. And from the very first voice chiming in, it becomes clear that nobody thinks this is easy work for either man. On one side of the debate stands Shakur Stevenson, the technician's technician. The fighter so clean, so composed, so annoyingly disciplined that people mistake boredom for dominance.
Contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit.
While on the other side lurks Teofimo Lopez, the wild card with championship scars, explosive confidence, and a resume that screams, "Don't count me out unless you enjoy being wrong." The pros waste no time laying it out. If boxing were scored on consistency, calmness, and control, Shakur would already be halfway to the locker room with the win, undefeated, multi-division champion, elite ring IQ, defensive wizardry that turns punches into suggestions rather than threats. The kind of fighter who makes opponents look like they're shadowboxing ghosts.
Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here to Shakur. And then it would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good. But Teofimo has a way, when you're so damn good and he knows you're so damn good and everybody feels like you're gonna beat him, there's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who's that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teofimo. Again,
the X factor.
What I just explained.
He's got the talent to
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, well, what about Shakur now? Tank this, tank that. Tank fights the guy that delivers my pizza. He fights the guys in the back that are doing the production. He fights the truck driver. I don't want to hear, because he would never have.
They praise how he dictates pace like a conductor, slowing fights down, speeding them up, taking rounds away without ever looking like he broke a sweat. And the scary part is that he's evolved, blending aggression with that trademark elusiveness, proving he doesn't just run and pot shot. He can sit, sting, pivot, and punish when needed. To many pros, Shakur represents class, the fighter you trust to show up exactly as advertised. No emotional swings, no reckless decisions, no mystery about who he's going to be on fight night, and that reliability is why a large portion of experts lean his way.
And And doing that, and so I was always going to fight this year. He knew that too. I was always going to fight this year. It was going to be either like a tune-up or something before I fought him, if we were to get that together.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
If they fight, I think Shakur wins. I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. I think he just, you know, his IQ will frustrate him. And,
wow. Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think explosive? So, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin. Who else?
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win, and he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like. Because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur off.
Confidently predicting a technical masterclass where Lopez swings big, misses bigger, and slowly realizes the night is slipping through his fingers 1 inch at a time. But then the room shifts, the tone sharpens, and suddenly the conversation gets uncomfortable because boxing history doesn't love safe predictions. And this is where Teofimo Lopez crashes the party like a reminder nobody ordered. Pros who've been in real wars start pointing out something the stat sheets don't capture. Lopez is at his most dangerous when people start talking like the fight is already decided. When the spotlight gets a little dismissive. When the narrative paints him as the lesser technician. Because that's when he flips the switch and becomes chaos with purpose. They remind everyone that this is the same man who cracked Lomachenko's code.
Shakur beat Teo and vice versa. Stylistically, how does Teo beat Shakur?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's just the only way to win. If he stays outside of boxes, Shakur gonna pick him apart. Shakur's a polished boxer with some of the best speed in the game right now, and he's a defensive-minded fighter, which is very smart. It's hard to hit him. He makes you gamble to hit him, and he's gonna be a tough one to deal with. But if Teofimo is willing to gamble to beat him, then Teofimo.
I think it's a great fight. You'll really see, you know, because at the end of it, they're both Olympians. They're both multi-division world champions. Teo is an incredible fighter, and Shakur is an incredible fighter. Shakur has a really high boxing IQ and Shakur coming out with
who refused to be dazzled by angles and feints, who stayed patient, explosive, confident, and ruthless when the moment called for it. And they argue that if that version of Teofimo shows up, not the rushed one, not the emotional one, but the disciplined predator, then Shakur's beautiful control could get very uncomfortable very fast. Lopez's supporters talk about raw power, sudden bursts, physical strength, and that unsettling unpredictability, where he doesn't always wait for instructions, doesn't always follow the script, and sometimes figures things out in real time in ways that disrupt even the cleanest.
You know, in order for you to participate in this sport, you gotta have a high level of confidence. I feel like both of them has a high level of confidence, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, but styles make fights. Naturally, I think Teofimo Lopez is stronger than Shakur. Naturally, I think he has more athleticism than Shakur, and he got a good IQ on the sport itself. But Shakur, I feel like he's a more smarter fighter. He's a more technical fighter. You know, I'm not saying that he's a square or he's just a textbook fighter, but he's seasoned, he's poised. I feel like mentally he's more mature. Like, he don't go outside of the boundaries on taking risks. So a lot of times you'll see him fight somebody that could be stiff competition, and it'll wind up being a born fight to a degree. You know, that's why everybody was criticizing him for, oh, he's a born fighter. he's a careful fighter. And I feel like with Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be a careful fighter. You know, just because he's a careful fighter doesn't mean that he isn't punctual with how he do things. I think Shakur, he got a lot in this arsenal that he can use to make him be victorious as well as Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So it's a 50-50 fight, and it depends on what fighters show up the night of the fight. Right. You know? But if I had to give you my whole honest truth, if Teofimo Lopez show up and is ready to fight just like how he fought Lomachenko.
Game plans. They describe him as an autonomous fighter, someone who can sense momentum shifts before they show up on the scorecards. And that kind of instinct scares technicians because it only takes one perfectly timed explosion to rewrite 12 rounds of control. Then come the mixed opinions, the voices that refuse to choose sides, calling this a genuine 50-50th because styles don't lie. And this style clash is Combustible Stevenson with speed, timing, defense, and ring command versus Lopez with belief, power, confidence, and that dangerous habit of rising to the level of the moment. Some pros warn that if Lopez loses focus even briefly,
offensive fighter. The difference between the two, for me, I think that Teofimo might be a little bit stronger of the two. But, you know, speed can sometimes nullify power.
Right. It depends on if you can use your speed to get you from round to round as a...
Shakur will take the round, the rhythm, and possibly the fight without apology, while others counter that if Shakur ever gets too comfortable, too predictable, too confident in control, Lopez's explosiveness could steal momentum in seconds. The physical breakdowns add more fuel. Lopez slightly stronger, Shakur slightly faster, both in their athletic primes, both championship tested, both convinced the other has never faced someone quite like them. And that's where the video becomes less about prediction and more about psychology, because everyone agrees this fight won't be won by who looks better in highlights, but by who handles doubt better when the plan starts cracking. Veteran voices emphasize that this won't be a drunken bar brawl. It'll be a thinking man's fight, a battle of inches, patience, and nerve, where frustration is the real opponent, and the first man to chase, rush, or break habit could lose everything. Some believe Shakur's discipline will slowly suffocate Lopez's options, turning confidence into impatience.
Certain spot, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this gonna be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I can see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Zepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive. You know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there, ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk.
While others believe Lopez needs exactly this level of challenge to unlock his best self, arguing that elite opposition brings elite focus out of him like nothing else. And that's the beauty and the danger of this matchup. No outcome feels safe, no prediction feels bulletproof, and every pro, no matter who they pick, sounds just a little nervous saying it out loud. By the end of the video, one thing is undeniable. This isn't a fight where the winner just gets their hand raised. It's a fight where reputations shift, narratives collapse, and belief systems get tested under unforgiving lights. Whether it's Shakur proving that control always beats chaos, or Teofimo reminding the world that belief plus power plus timing can shatter even the cleanest systems, the pros agree on one savage truth.
Hey, no. After studying freaking Lopez yesterday, man, look, that athleticism that he got, that speed that he got, the boy is a what's the name I'm looking for? What can I say? He's autonomous. That's the word I'm looking for. He's an autonomous fighter. Okay? What does that mean, autonomous fighter, Tim? Shakur is too. Just like Floyd is. Just like Crawford is. Just like Inoue is. You know, young fighters want to get to that point in their career where they become autonomous fighters. Okay? Where you don't need no damn instructions. You don't need no guidance. You know how to figure it out. Your fundamentals are so damn sound that, shoot, you got skills now built on top of those fundamentals. Now it's second nature for you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see the same patterns and rhythms and styles and so on and so forth that it's second nature. It's nothing for you. These guys can operate without any damn instructions, without being told what to do. That's how great these dudes are. Or I should say good they are. They still got to prove they great, right? But, you know, look, the thing that surprised me about T.O. last night after watching him, man, is that his speed and quickness and how fast he's able to strike. Look, I'm going to tell you where he's going. Because I watched a little bit of Shakur last night. He going to Shakur.
This is the kind of fight that doesn't just crown a winner. It exposes who you really are when skill meets pressure and nobody's saving you from yourself. And that's the real punchline, no matter who the pros pick. No matter how confident the predictions sound, this fight refuses to be solved in advance. On paper, on podcasts, and in prediction videos, everyone has an answer. But the ring has a habit of laughing at certainty. One man believes discipline can shut down anything. The other believes chaos only needs one opening. When the bell rings, excuses disappear, habits get tested, and comfort becomes a liability. This isn't about being right online, it's about surviving 12 rounds of doubt, pressure, and pride. So lock in, because when Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez finally collide, somebody's story changes forever. And the pros will be forced to explain why confidence didn't mean control, or why belief wasn't enough.